Our stage and screen. The audition, Cowgirl Sal, YouTube sensation, the callbacks, naughty or nice, practice makes perfect, master of ceremonies, tap, tap, tap dancing, dress rehearsal, apology accepted, showtime, JoJo to the rescue, almost famous, and that's a wrap. This looks like a really good book. I read a little and I thought you might like it. This is about Fancy Nancy and her friends. Nancy kept licking her lips. The inside of her mouth felt as dry as dust. Her tummy was doing flip-flops and she was perspiring like crazy. Perspiring sounded more grown-up and less gross than sweating. What are you so worked up about? Grace asked Nancy. You won't be one of the stars. Bree scowled at Grace. You're not in charge. Just wait till you hear Nancy play guitar. She's awesome. Everyone in 3rd grade had gathered in the auditorium. It was audition day. Auditioning meant trying out for the Nifty 50. That was the name of the play. Only it wasn't really a play, since there was no story. It was more like a variety show with lots of nifty Mr. D explained. That meant cool songs and dances about the 50 states. Yesterday, Mr. Dunny had told the class, our 3rd grade performance is one of the highlights of the school year, so come prepared to show off your special talent. Today, Nancy had brought in her guitar. For months, she'd been taking lessons from a teenager named Andy. She didn't stink, but she wasn't awesome either. Bree only thought so because she was Nancy's best friend. One by one, kids got up on stage to perform. Robert brought a lasso with him. He had been born in Texas. His dream was to be a rodeo star one day. Yippee-ki-yay, Robert yelled, while the lasso twirled over his head in a circle. Grace had chosen a song about California. California, here I come, right back where I started from, Grace sang. Nancy hated to admit it, but Grace's performance was flawless. She didn't make one mistake. At the end, Grace spread out her arms and smiled with all her teeth showing. Lionel wore a top hat and black cape. Please hold the applause till the end, he told everyone. First he did a card trick, then he told a joke. What is the smartest state? Lionel paused before giving the answer. Alabama, because it has 4 A's and only 1 B. Lionel started to walk off stage. Oh. Can also burp to the tune of Jingle Bells. Want to hear? A superb talent, dude. But that won't be necessary. Mr. Dunny was sitting in the audience with the other 3rd grade teacher. When it was Bree's turn, she let out a little squeak. Nancy squeezed Bree's hand for luck. On stage, Bree did a tap dance to a song about New York City. She had on real patent leather tap shoes. The little metal pieces on the bottoms made every step ring out in the auditorium. Clickety-clack-clack. East side, west side, all around the town. The song began. Shuffle, shuffle, step. Spin, shuffle, shuffle, step. Spin. Bree got off to a good start. Then all of a sudden, it got harder for her to keep up with the music. At one point, she had to stop and wait to pick up the beat again. When Bree came back, she slumped down in her seat. And pooched out her lips. I really messed up, she said, still out of breath. There was no time to console Bree because Mr. Dunny was calling out Nancy's name. She stood and forced her feet to walk up the steps to the stage. She remembered her mom's advice, don't look at the crowd, Pretend you're in your room, playing just for fun. Nancy slung the guitar strap over her shoulder. A 1 and a 2 and a 3, Nancy began, and then she broke into the opening chord of Wild Thing. This was an old rock song, the first one Andy had taught her. Nancy had just played it 1,000,000 times, maybe more. Wild Thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Nancy sang. By the second chorus, she felt a little more relaxed. Her lips no longer felt stuck in her gums. When she got to the word groovy again, Nancy stretched it out and made her voice go low and raspy, the way Andy did. Groovy. See? What did I tell you? She was awesome, Bree was saying to Grace as Nancy got back to her seat. Grace crossed her arms. The song had nothing to do with any of the states. Didn't have to, Bree said. Nancy just had to show her special talent. Grace frowned, but didn't say anything. Wow, from Grace, saying nothing was practically like getting a compliment. That was a good chapter. This is about Cowgirl Sal. Daddy, please take off that hat. Nancy said, you look absurd. That was a polite way of saying her father looked silly. He glanced up from his newspaper. Well, howdy, partner. Didn't you come in? Didn't hear you come in. A cowboy hat of JoJo's was perched on his head. You hungry? I can rustle up a snack. Sure, Nancy sat down, her guitar and backpack. I tried out for the Nifty 50 today. Shh, I can't hear. JoJo was sitting cross-legged on the floor watching TV. She was wearing a cowboy hat, too. Her favorite show, Cowgirl Sal, was on. I'm Cowgirl Sal. I'm your best pal, JoJo sang along with the theme song. And I'm coming to the rescue. Cowgirl Sal was played by a grown-up actress who has braids and big fake freckles on her cheeks. Today she was helping a kitten that was stuck in a tree. Nancy's parents thought Cowgirl Sal was a good role model. That meant they wanted her to act just like her. I like being a good helper, Cowgirl Sal said. Then she pointed to the badge on her shirt. It looked like a sheriff's badge, only it said good helper. JoJo was wearing one just like it. Nancy followed her father into the kitchen. I find out tonight if I get a call back. A call back means, Nancy stopped talking. Daddy, I can't have a serious discussion with you in that hat. Please take it off. I reckon I can. While her dad made a PB&J sandwich, Nancy explained, a call back means you're getting a part. Of course you'll get a part. You always do. No, Daddy. I mean a real one. In every play, Nancy always got stuck in the chorus. For the second grade production of Peter Pan, she was pirate number 7. In first grade, for Jack and the Beanstalk, she had been a villager. This year, she wanted to stand out. Not that she expected to be one of the stars, but getting to be in the spotlight for a moment or two, well, that would be thrilling. Nancy checked that the receiver on the house phone wasn't off the hook. She had her dad make sure that his cell phone was turned on. Then she took the sandwich up to her room to do homework. Nancy Clancy, your state, Wisconsin. Mr. Dunne had assigned every kid in 3D a different state to study. Nancy's was Wisconsin. For tomorrow, she had to find a fun fact about Wisconsin. She also had to draw a map of the state. Using her atlas, Nancy made an outline of Wisconsin in purple magic marker and put a gold sticker of a star where Madison, the capital, went. Suddenly a bell rang. It was the bell on the top secret special delivery mail basket. Nancy jumped up from her desk and reeled in the basket. It hung from a rope between her bedroom window and Bree's. Bree's note was short. It was written in their secret code. It took a minute to decipher. Bree, looking surprised and happy, was right at the window, so Nancy didn't need to write back. When she shook her head no, Bree held up both hands to show that her fingers were crossed. After that, it was impossible to do more homework. Nancy lay on her bed, staring at the crack in the ceiling. Frenchie came in and snuggled beside her. Twice, Nancy went out into the hall and called down to her dad. Make sure to listen for the phone. Finally, right before dinner, there was a call, but it was from Grace. She'd gotten a call back too. So did you hear? Grace asked. No, not yet. Aw, too bad, Grace said. But there have to be some kids in the chorus, right? Grace was trying to sound sad for Nancy. Still, Nancy couldn't help but wonder if deep down Grace wasn't secretly kind of glad. New secret code for your eyes only. A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, and so on. And the next chapter we will read later.